G'day guys, it's Ben again here to bring you another video. This one is going to look at the interior of the chicken coop. So we're all pretty much good to go now, and what we're going to do is just take a bit of a look at some fairly unique features that I've got on this chicken coop. At least they're unique to Australia. I haven't seen sort of a lot of these things commonly in this country, and there's some really good ideas I think. So let's take a look. Alright, so there's my access door. I don't foresee a great deal of need for this in terms of actually getting inside the coop, but it's a really good feature to have should I need it. As you can see, there's a few screws here that need to get ground down, but that's not a big deal. And so this section of the coop sits 75 centimeters above the ground, which is fantastic. It allows the chickens to come in underneath. There's plenty of grass in there. I can segregate chickens if I need to. So for example, if one or two are being picked on by the others, I can just separate them. Or if I'm going to introduce some new chickens into the flock, then I can do that, and they can sort of get used to each other while still having a boundary in between the, sort of the new ones and the older ones. And I think that's quite a good thing to have. So I didn't paint the inside of it white until the sheets were already up, and then it became a bit of a challenge to do that, especially considering the humidity and the heat that we're having in Queensland. But there we go. Rightio, so on the bottom we've got this fairly heavy duty mesh, and it is 25 by 25 millimeter or 1 inch square, and it's actually strong enough for me to be able to stand on, which is excellent. As I say, I don't foresee a great deal of need to be able to get in here very often, but it's good to have the option if I need to. Okay, on this side we've got water access for the chickens, but the door will be over here, and no food, because they're not going to be in here a lot during the day. There certainly shouldn't be. Then we've got these things which are called layer pads. They cost around $5 each, which is just about nothing when you think about it. They are 32 centimeters square, which is excellent, and they're made out of silicone, so you can really easily wash them. And what they're designed to do is to simulate grass. So chickens can quite happily walk on these. They can scratch. They can do all their natural behaviours, and that's fine. They can, so any waste, so liquid or solid waste from the chickens, that'll just go straight through, and then once every couple of months you can just hose them off, and that's great. And when you think about the cost comparison, so as I say, these are $5 each. If I was to cover this whole area in shredded pine, it would probably cost me around about $30 or so, and I'd have to replace that about every 3-4 months at least. Especially in the heat, because it's just not going to survive that well. So and pine probably is the best alternative to this, because pine has natural sort of antibacterial properties to it. But what these do is, once you bought them, and they just go on really. So yeah, it's going to cost me for this whole area probably maybe what, I think there's 25 or something total that I'm going to require for this whole surface area. So that's what, $125 plus delivery, so maybe 160 or something, because you buy them from the States. I haven't found anywhere in Australia that sells them. That said, if it was going to cost me $30 or so a year, so that's, correction, $30 or so a quarter, that's 120 bucks in a year. So after 12 months, 18 months, I've already paid for themselves. This is a much more economical way to go, and I think it's far more healthy as well. As I say, you can just hose it out, and that's all good to go. So this is the interior of the coop. As you can see, there's a slight lip there to stop the eggs and stuff rolling out from the nesting box, and I've put in a piece of clear perspex, and the reason for that is that when I'm outside I can look in, I can get a bit of an idea of the health of the chickens that might still be inside. I can also see if there's any eggs, and most importantly of all, I can see if there's any snakes or anything that have managed to get into the nesting box. And I think that's actually a really good safety feature. I've only seen this kind of thing on sort of 2 or 3 coops that people have made for themselves around the world. So I think it's a really good safety feature to have, and but that's sort of, you know, let me know what you think. Please leave me a comment below. Alrighty guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for your time and patience. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you in my next video.